Greetings. My name is Vince Dominic J. Cuevas, and I'm here to present my paper entitled VJC's Algorithm Creation of Mixture Formula Utilizing Design Optimization via Conduction of Case Study and Experimentation. Let us now scroll through the first chapters of the paper, such as the dedication, acknowledgement, abstract, tables of concepts, list of tables, and lastly, the list of figures. Now, before we proceed with the chapter one, let us now read the abstract, which is the summarization of the whole paper. Abstract. Mixture formula is one of the most important aspects of construction industry. It is a very small variable, yet it can make or break a certain infrastructure. Construction industry utilizes this to create concrete that are suitable to use in different scenarios depending on the desired strength, the slump needed, and the time to create the single concrete. A mixture formula, in its proportion, controls these variables, and it's very important to utilize the appropriate formula in order to attain the desired concrete needed in the site. The researchers created their own version of the mixture formula in order to ensure a new and safe way of mixing concrete, while at the same time accessibility is easy due to the online website to be created. The study utilized four approaches in order to attain a general knowledge needed to create a mixture formula called the VJCs that could withstand different scenarios. These are the ACI method, HPC mix, performance-based mix, and lastly, the conventional mix proportion. After the individual case study, a comparative case study was done in order to assess the important nodes needed to create the VJC's mixture formula. After formulating the initial mix formula, testing is very much needed in order to assess and evaluate the final formula to be used. The research will utilize quantitative and qualitative approach in order to arrive at the main goal, which is to create the website. Now that we have talked about the abstract, let's now continue with the first chapter, the review of related literature. Now let us go with the introduction. Introduction. Construction industry is a branch of engineering which deals with manufacturing, maintaining, and repairment of the infrastructures that mankind uses in a daily basis. It is a very delicate and tedious work in which knowledge, experience, and accuracy is a must. Such combination is important in the application of concrete mixture proportioning. CMP or concrete mixture proportioning is a very basic but very vital component of construction. It makes or breaks every component attached to a building. Different types of scenarios is used in the field in relation to this. Methods and models were made in order to attain a reliable and an ideal mix for concrete such as models as HPC, ACI method, and mechanistic model approach. The concrete mixture proportioning and its attached ideas as a main goal of attaining an economical yet serviceable concrete that would be used in construction. It is done to target the desired compressive strength of a material, which is very important depending on the type of infrastructure being built. This is the related readings, which is solely the um, comparison with 2019 California Building Code. Now let us proceed with the literature review. Here are the contents of the literature readings. Related literature, both foreign and local, and also the related studies, which encompasses also foreign and local. Keywords that were highlighted on the paper were gathered on the statement of the problem, which will be tackled later on. Here is also the presence of the synthesis and justification, and also the theoretical framework, which will be much needed for the creation of the conceptual framework. Now that we have tackled the RRL, synthesis and justification, and also the theoretical framework, now let us go to the conceptual framework. This is my conceptual framework. The conceptual framework encompasses five phases, which is the assessing of the importance of concrete mixture proportion, correlation between the different statistical experimental designs, formulation of VJC's mixture formula, application of the CMP in construction, and lastly, the development of the online website. The conceptual framework also encompasses 15 steps, which is seen in the conceptual framework itself. We could also conclude that the conceptual framework being done is cyclical. We could see a cycle to be seen in the conceptual framework. Now that we have seen and discussed the conceptual framework, the most important part of the study, which is a statement of the problem, is to be discussed next. The framework is mainly based on the statement of the problem, which has a of main purpose of the project is to create an online website that will utilize VJC's algorithmic approach to help create an ideal concrete in the construction industry. Through analyzing several models such as HPC mix, mechanistic model, and ACI method, it will investigate the utilization and significance of using a statistical experiment design in concrete mixture proportioning. These are the um, five specific goals of the statement of the problem. The first one is to assess the importance of applying proper CMP of construction materials to develop a reliable concrete in suburban areas, which is being answered in the phase one. Determine the focal characteristics and factors the concrete should exhibit before auction in the construction industry, which is also answered in the phase one. Number three, correlate the relationships of different statistical experimental design approaches used in the fieldwork, such as ACI method, HPC mix, performance-based mix, and conventional mix proportioning, which is being answered by the phase two of our study. Create an ideal mixture formula using the interrelationship between the three designs approaches to manufacture dependable concrete in the field of building services, which is being answered by the phase four. And lastly, number five, implement an online website that will utilize a created statistical experimental design in relation to the desired compressive strength of the manufacturer, which is being answered by the phase five of the conceptual framework. Now that we have discussed the statement of the problem, the theoretical framework, and the conceptual framework, now let us proceed with the hypothesis. In the In the conduction of this study, the following hypothesis will be conducted using 0.05 level of significance. The null hypothesis is utilizing 10 batches of concrete, the results would have less significant results between the created formulas and the other present mixture formulas used in the study. The alternative hypothesis is utilizing 10 batches of concrete, the results would have greater significant results between the created formula and the other present mixture formula used in the study. Now, let us discuss other preliminary parts of the study, which is the significance of the study, and also the scope and limitation. The significance of the study, the construction industry utilizes different mixture formula, in which sometimes the results of it is not reliable as possible. This is because of some known errors such as human error and many more. Poor quality of concrete mixture formula can cause poor quality concrete that may dissipate the performance criteria of the created concrete. The poor quality of concrete can cause cracking, reduce strength, and durability. The creation of the concrete mixture formula and website utilizing the VJC's mixture formula can help solve the problem in identifying which equation will be used depending on the type of situation, and which ideal equation will be used depending on the type of concrete that is needed, such as durability, desired compressive strength, and time. Implementing the website and the creation of the mixture formula will create an easy yet reliable way of attaining an equation that will be implemented in the construction process. The study will be useful in the field of construction for construction workers, contractors, engineers, and even architects. It will ease the workload of the engineers in areas such as computation, implementation, and planning. It will give an advantage on workers utilizing this website because it will give them the equation to be utilized while also giving them the correct proportions of the materials and steps on how to create the mixture formula. Now that we have done, now that we have discussed the chapter 1, which is the review of literature, let us now proceed with the methodology. This is the methodology. Um, the methodology is also based on the conceptual framework. It will be separated in 5 phases and five 15 steps. The phase 1 is assessing the importance concrete mixture proportioning in construction industry. It will have 4 steps. Phase 2, correlation of four experimental designs, which encompasses steps 4, 4.1, 5, 5.1, 6, 6.1, 7, and 7.1. In total, we will have 8 different steps for just phase 2. Phase 3, which is the formulation of the VJC's mixture formula. It will have um, four, four steps for phase 4, which is the application of VJC's CMP in the construction field. It will have 2 steps. And lastly, the phase 5, which is the development of the online website, which will be created by 3 steps. After that, let's now discuss the research design, the research setting, the respondents of the study, the data gathering procedures, the data in gathering instruments, and the statistical treatment. Let us now proceed with the statistical treatment because it is the very much essential of the study. The study will be utilizing qualitative and quantitative approach. The qualitative will be using case study, while the qualitative will be using experimental designs, such as the measuring the desired compressing strength of the concrete, utilizing 10 different equations. That is, the statistical treatment will be using are the mean value, the standard deviation, and the coefficient of the variation. Now, this is the references for my study and also the appendices. Now, that is all for my presentation. Thank you and have a great day.